Hello, my name is Erica, and I would be telling you that I have two things: crippling anxiety and two mini cookbooks. But today, I have three. My sister's here.
Hi!
She picked out our recipe for this week, which we're going on week 3 of Ina Garden's cookbooks. We are cooking from the classic Ina Garden Make Ahead, which we're not actually doing. We're not making it ahead. We are making it now. It's happening. It's all happening. Because we are making Provençal Fish Stew with Sriracha Rouille. We're going French. So, that being said, let's make it. To start with, we're going to go ahead with the Sriracha Rouille, which calls for 1 tablespoon minced garlic, 1 teaspoon kosher salt, half a teaspoon of saffron, because we're cooking with saffron today, 1 extra large egg yolk, 1.5 tablespoons freshly squeezed lemon juice, 1 teaspoon sriracha, and 1 cup of good olive oil. Let's make it. All right, so it calls for 1 extra large egg yolk at room temperature. So we're going to separate our yolk from our whites. Wasn't perfect, but I stuck the landing. And there we go. 1 egg yolk. So now we're going to assemble the Sriracha Rouille. The curse of the food processor is not something made up for television. It happens. It's real. It's happening right now. So apparently my food processor only wants to work with a paper clip stuck in it. So we're going to call in an assist and keep moving on because Sriracha Rouille is not going to make itself. All right, so Dan's going to pull an assist here and help us out with our food processor. All right. Assist.
Assistant.
Well, that is creamy and dreamy. It's really good. So for our full recipe, the Provençal Fish Stew, we are going to need 6 tablespoons of good olive oil, 1.5 cups chopped onion, 1.5 cups yellow bell pepper, 2.5 cups fennel bulb, 1 teaspoon of saffron, so we're cooking with saffron, pinch of crushed red pepper flakes, 4 oil-packed anchovies, half a cup minced garlic, yes, half a cup, 1 cup dry white wine, 2 tablespoons Pernod, 3 cups of good seafood stock, 1 can of diced tomatoes, 1 strip of orange zest, 3/4 cup freshly squeezed orange juice, salt, pepper, 1.5 pounds of cod, 1.5 pounds of halibut or monkfish, We went with monkfish because it's in season. 36 fresh mussels. We bought 2 pounds, guessing that's around the right amount. Half a cup of minced fresh parsley, 12 diagonal slices of French bread, and the Sriracha Rouille. Let's make it.
Okay, so at this point in the recipe, we have prepped our onions, bell pepper, and fennel. Recipe says to, in a large pot or Dutch oven, heat the olive oil over medium heat. Add onions, bell pepper, fennel, saffron, and red pepper flakes. Cook for 15 minutes, stirring occasionally until vegetables are tender. So we've been going for about 15 minutes. Pretty happy with what we're looking at here. Everything's nice and tender. So the next part of the instructions are to add the anchovies and garlic and cook for 1 minute. So here we go. Garlic, anchovies. Got to get fragrant in here. We'll just stir those in. See you back here in a minute. So now we're going to go in with our white wine and Pernod, which I've learned recently is a very fancy, very expensive liqueur. And there's going to be 2 tablespoons Pernod. 1, 2. Ooh, that smells epic. So we've been going for another 2 minutes with the wine and Pernod. It smells like something from another world. I can't even describe it. It smells so good. So we're gonna go in. Now we're gonna add, on the second page, seafood stock, tomatoes, orange zest and juice. Salt and black pepper bring to a boil. All right, seafood stock. Tomatoes. Orange zest. Is it a 1 by 3 inch piece? That's about right to me. And freshly squeezed orange juice. Bring to boil. Simmer uncovered for 25 minutes. See you back here in 25. So we've got our sous chefs in here prepping the parsley. Looking beautiful, thank you. Our other sous chef over here scrubbing the mussels. Expert precision. Toast is going in. So it said discard the orange zest. Well, I can't find it, so we're just going to live with it. And then stir in cod, and it said halibut or monkfish, and I went with monkfish because that's in season right now. And then raise heat, simmer, uncovered for 5 minutes. So that's what we're going to do. There's 3 pounds of fish going into the bouillabaisse. Smells amazing. Raise heat slightly to a simmer. Got it. All right, we've got the mussels in, and we are capping for 5 minutes. I think it looks really good. Just checking our mussels, make sure everybody's open. And then we're gonna plate. sister's here, not just because she picked our recipe this week, but because she knows more about wine than I know about alliums. So for tonight, she's made a wine pairing, and I asked her if she would please explain how to pair wine with your meal. So
right. Thank you. So this was actually a pretty difficult one for me. I had to do some research and really just took a little deep dive into French wines, which is not a very comfortable place I've ever been. So this was fun. And I came up with one wine that I had in my cellar, which was neat, which is it's a Vouvray, which is a Chenin Blanc from France. Here we go. This is the wine that was number 1. That has said that it would pair decently with bouillabaisse, which is pretty much what I based it off of. Fish and saffron and complex flavors. But you don't really want to overpower the dish. You want to be able to complement it and bring out different flavors. And what's fun about French wine is for the majority of the time, you're going to have wines that are food wines. They're not just, you're going to sit down and have a sipper. It's something that you're going to pair with food because it changes the dynamic. And as we were having our tasting today, we kind of realized how that happens. But that's actually not the wine I'm going with.
Ooh, surprise twist.
Because I wanted to have a backup, because just in case this one was a little bit overpowering, and that's what it was, is I received and found this Côte de Provence rosé, and where this dish originated from was actually Marseille, Provence in France. So I figured you can't go wrong with actually a wine that is from the place that you are originating this dish from. And it's actually a great pairing. It's a little bit floral, it's dry, it's the acidity of it, and it really brings out the buttery notes of the fish, which is what it is. But it also doesn't play against the acidity of the tomatoes, which is the bouillabaisse sauce.
So shall we taste?
Shall we taste, indeed.
Let's do it.
All right, so here we are at the end. It's a stunning plate of food. Absolutely stunning. I'm gonna go in for the fish. That is so good. That is cooked perfectly. The broth is so good. I'm going in with my post point with Rui. You know what? The whole concept of a toast point with mayonnaise on it, dipping it into broth, seemed kind of weird to me. It's not weird at all. It's delicious, and you should do it. Oh. Going in for the pairing. Stunning. Well done to my sister on the pairing. Brings out this freshness, herbaliness, like fresh spring air in the middle of winter. It's so good. It's so good. So, final thoughts? This is a really lovely dish. And if you have someone that loves you enough to make this dish, then you're a very special person, and they love you very much. So thank you. Cheers. Thank you for coming along for week 4. Thank you to my sister for coming along and for the delicious wine. And we'll see you again next week. Deuces.